All right. A little live action here. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, this is just an impromptu thing. Um, didn't schedule this at all and decided to just do it for the heck of it. Why not? Uh, this is not scheduled at all. Please, if you're in here, drop your name and any questions you have. I got a notebook full of notes and stuff that I have of stuff I haven't covered in videos or stuff I haven't covered in any of the Facebook groups I'm a part of and things like that. So I got lots of stuff to talk about just randomly, you know. So if you have any questions, drop them in and let's just have a good time. We'll chat. May just be me and a couple of you guys. I don't know. But if you have anything you want to say, drop it in the chat and let us begin. What's up, Sean? How are you? I have my reading glasses and my missing an arm, whatever they're called. My grandson ripped them off my face. And yeah, I only have one arm on my reading glasses. That way, I can read your stuff. So, what's up, Sean? How are you? Hope you're doing well. If you have any questions, put them in there. But I have some things I want to talk about. May just be a couple of us in here, and that's okay. But we can keep it small, intimate, and I can be here to, you know, if you have anything you want to add or any questions you have, drop them in. Let's chat. I have really not too much on the agenda. This is just so impromptu. So, how's everyone's business going so far to start out the year? Let me tell you about mine so far. We had our first event. If you don't know much about me or my company, I started off doing kettle corn and lemonade together about 13 years ago. And from that point on, we got into concession stands. And I don't go mobile as much as I used to, you know, years ago. I just have all my concession stands, which is great because it's constant revenue that comes in. I know what I'm going to make week in and week out usually. And my first two events, so we had our first set of regular season games at our soccer complexes, our softball, spring baseball, and spring football. And last week, they were all canceled because we had a rain out here in Kansas City. And that is the great thing about having like concession stands or set places that you vend, because when it's rained out, those games are made up, you know, and that's incredible. So if you do a festival or something, and that event's rained out, guess what? It's rained out. You no more festival. So yeah, that's a great thing about having concession stands is if it rained out, they have makeup days. And if it's poor weather and it's raining and they make it up, usually it's made up in really good weather. So that way the sales are really good. So that is just what's really amazing about having like concession stands and stuff that I do is because it's going to get those old overalls off because it's warm in the house but cold outside. And so those are made up. And then today we had our second week of play. First week was rained out. This week we're all ready to go. and it was 25 degrees here in Kansas City. So that means that the Parks Department called off all games again. So back to back weeks of being either rained out or this time it was too cold. They shut off the water to like the outbuildings to where the restrooms are. Couldn't have any games. So, but they will be made up. So that's great about not doing festivals and stuff like that as much as I used to, is that they'll be made up in great weather, and that's okay. Yeah, I would like to have the revenue the last 2 weeks. Just didn't happen. So they'll be made up. No big deal. So let's start off talking about locations. And again, guys, this is really an impromptu live stream. Usually I put these out for advertising a week ahead, try to get a bunch of people in here. I just felt like doing one tonight. Had a little bit of time. The wife is gone. Kids are out. Just me. I was bored. Why not talk to you guys about my favorite thing, which is work and business, because I'm a workaholic, baby. Locations. Let's talk about this and how I think it's really important to try to get these set locations. You know, I mean, I don't want everyone to emulate my business model. You got to do what's good for you. But having set locations is just great, because you know what you're going to make week in and week out, right? I mean, unless it's, like raining or super hot or whatever, you know what you're going to make week in and week out. And that's what we want, I think, as business people and people in this industry is, man, we just want to know what we're going to make. When you go to fairs or festivals, it's kind of a crapshoot, right? You just don't know what you're going to make. Depends on the attendance, it depends on weather, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. When you do these youth sporting events, hey, what's up? Welcome in. Please, any questions or anything you guys want to talk about, drop them in. This is really just an impromptu thing. But anyway, back to locations and how important I think it is to have set standard locations that you can vend in week in and week out, so you can keep that revenue being consistent. Okay? And yeah, I do festivals and fairs. I do those as well. But my bread and butter is set locations at youth sporting parks, if you don't know. It's a little bit about me and my business model and what I do. And we don't just sell lemonade, guys. We sell literally, and I mean this literally, 75 to 100 different items. Lemonade just happens to be one of my top sellers, and it's close to my heart because that's what I started out with, was fresh squeezed lemonade. I just brought it into my concession stand business with me. So set locations are really important. And here's another thing. I know most we're lemonade vendors because this is a group I typically deal with. I have other groups I work with and talk with, but lemonade vending is a primary group that I deal with. Guys, I think it's really important that you have other food items to sell besides the lemonade. No, it doesn't have to be kettle corn, but it could be a myriad of things, like prepackaged items. I think are just amazing for your business, right? You're selling lemonade, and you have a box of M&Ms or Skittles or whatever at your table. Maybe you have some chips too. That's impulse buying. That has worked out so well for Walmart and many other places, that why shouldn't we take advantage of impulse buying and have these prepackaged items at your lemonade stand, your trailer, your cart, whatever it is you sell out of your food truck, doesn't matter. Have some items there that people can grab. And, the life expectancy, the sale date on these, candy bars and other things, and chips and all that is way down the road. They will hold, right? So why not have the impulse buying right there with you in your lemonade stand? I think that's so So important. It's just extra revenue for your family, guys. Sorry about my dog. Didn't put the dog up. It was just an impromptu live. So maybe someone's coming in and I don't even know. So, impulse buying, having prepackaged items at your stand, I think is so important. And I'd like to hear what you guys think about it. You know, this is a great forum where we can chat directly in one of these live streams, not just a video you're watching of me talking. So, please feel free to chat. And I'm sorry about the dog, but what you gonna do? So, prepackaged items I think are really important, and you should have those at your stand. Now, pricing structure. Man, I do a lot of videos about this, about pricing structure, what you should price your lemonades at. You know, honestly, it comes down to what is your cost, right? What is your cost for lemonades? And that's what your pricing structure is going to come down to. No one knows that but you. How much do you pay for lemons? How much you pay for cups? You know, how much does it cost? My wife just came home. Hey, baby, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm doing a impromptu live on my YouTube channel.
Fun.
So, do you want to join me?
No.
Okay.
But thank you for the offer.
My wife doesn't want to join me. So, pricing structure is really important. It's just that, you know, how you put your prices is what you are paying for that item and how much you want to get out of it. Now, for us, just our business strictly, we use 24-ounce cups, and we sell our standard lemonade for $5, and with fruits, because you know, if you haven't watched my videos, I use fruit instead of syrup to flavor my lemonade. You know, like raspberries, blueberries, frozen, you know, berries, muddle them up, put them in the drink, and that's how we flavor ours. And then we'll do those for $6. So we have less than $1 into our lemonades with everything included. So for us, $5 and $6, making 4 or 5 times my money, I'm fine with that. And that's good for our business because we outsell our competition by doing that. So that's great. My wife is opening a delicious soda pop. I can hear her popping that now. So it's wonderful. So pricing structure is really important. And like I said, it comes down to your costs and how much you have into it and to how much you want to charge. No one can tell you that, guys. I can't tell you that. It's up to you and your business and your family and how you want to do that. Please, any questions or comments you guys want to talk about, this is a forum for you guys. So please, any questions you have, I'm looking at the chat. I don't see nothing happening in the chat. If you have any questions, drop them in so we can talk. Okay. Listen. Trying to have more than one location. Let's just say, can I just say this and just put out an example? Let's say you have one tent and one lemonade stand. Why not try to do 2? Like, if there's like 3 of you that are involved in a business, maybe 4, maybe just examples, right? Husband and wife, couple kids, couple friends, whatever. Put up 2 tents, all right? Have 2 locations at the same event and really capitalize on all that money and monopolize that money. That way, if you have 2 there, that way that may eliminate other competitors from coming in to the event that you're doing, right? So if your only competitor is yourself or your husband or your wife, because you have 2 different stands across, why not do that? And listen, if you have a really beautiful trailer, wrapped, nice, at an event, and you have staff and personnel, buy a cheap, easy up tent. Doesn't have to be easy. I mean, you can buy a cheap one from Walmart for $100. Put a tent across the way, guys, and have 2 of you doing the same job and double your revenue. A lot of people don't do this trick. We've done this for years. And this is another way we eliminate. I did a video on eliminating competition. Well, not eliminating, but outselling your competition. This is another way to do it, is to have multiple locations at the same event. And it's just a fantastic way to make extra revenue if you have the manpower. Okay? Find a niche inside of your business. And what I mean by that is there's a guy on the, I don't want to reveal his name, but he is in all the time. And he's a very great guy. And if you make a post about something with lemonade, there's a chances are this gentleman has commented on it. Oh yeah, Sean, thank you, Sean, for commenting. I appreciate that. Good idea. I have trouble finding people I trust. Let me help you with that, Sean. You know how to get people, how to build that trust with people? Pay them appropriately. It's not about trust. If you pay them appropriately, they'll run that other stand for you. Give them a percentage of sales on that other stand. Like, they are the manager. You're the owner, but they are the manager of that particular stand. As long as you're making revenue off that secondary, stand, location, whatever, it doesn't matter, because you're still bringing in revenue. You're eliminating other competitors from getting into the same job because you have two setups in the same location. It's not about trusting the other people. Make it that way. Give them a percentage of sale of running that particular stand for you, and you will build that trust, and they will love doing it, because how much they make is going to be determined rather by how much they sold. So they will have an ownership into the running of that stand for you. Don't just pay them a salary. Give them a percentage of sale. Doesn't matter. You work out the percentage, whatever works for you. But if you do that, they will love it. They will work extremely hard. And honestly, you don't even have to be there. It's free money for you while you're working your other location. So thanks for commenting there, Sean. And when anyone else has any comments or anything, please put them in here so we can chat. Okay. Finding your niche. I put my glasses on so I can read this. Finding your niche. Let's say you do like flavorings inside of your lemonade. Like I do the fruit, but let's say you do like, I don't know, snow cone flavoring. Find some unique flavors that no one else is selling and develop your own niche. Now, this guy that I was going to talk about before Sean commented, I think he said he has 40 different flavors, right? I don't know. If that works for him, that's great. I would suggest, maybe cutting that down and maybe going with like 5 flavors. But having one that's really unique, that you've never really seen anybody sell, highlight that on your menu and try to sell out of it. Maybe only have like 50 cups dedicated to that special flavor. Find your niche, put that on your menu, and sell out of that product. And that will create demand. Limited time only. We only have this special flavor, only so many cups available. Come on, right? Find a niche to help you beat your competition, right? Don't just do regular lemonades. Don't just do strawberry. Find some unique flavors that can sell, and you can rotate them. If some don't work, find another one. It's okay. But you need to find some unique flavors that other people aren't selling, so you can make good money to that. Okay. Kind of off topic here. Oh, another comment there. Do I have a snowy machine? No, I have a YouTube video on the actual machine that I have several of my video showing on let's talk about snow cones. Snow cones are great while we're talking about a snowing machine. No, the only thing about me or my business or watching my videos, I am about having low overhead, as low as possible, right? And then building my machines up. Either if I like that machine and it's an inexpensive piece of equipment, I'll buy more. I don't go all in on buying expensive equipment. Like for instance, the lemonades, I don't have hydraulic smashers. I'm not spinning that. I use a hand press. That's just what I use and what works for my business. A snowing machine, no. I have about $150 ice shaver. And I think we own about 25 of them. And they are amazing. Snow cones are absolutely amazing. If you have a lemonade business, you can add snow cones to that really quickly. You can actually use the same flavorings, right? You can use snow cone flavoring for your lemonades, like a lot of people do, and for your snow cones, and really be killing it. And you'd be selling two of the most profitable items that you could sell in the food business right there: snow cones and lemonade. So there was that. Okay. Trying to find some good notes to go over here. Thank you again, Sean, for commenting on that. I appreciate you commenting. It gives me something to talk about from this impromptu live. And I'm not sure if anyone's watching this or getting anything out of it, but we're doing it because I had a little bit of extra time. Have you guys thought about doing promotions with your products? And what I mean by that is pretty simple. A buy one, get one free. Buy two, get one free. Buy two, get one half off. Whatever. I think doing promotions are really, really important for your business. Not only do, the the limited time only type of products that you could sell. You're going to sell out of the special lemonade after whatever amount of cups you designate. We're going to say 50 for the heck of it. After 50 cups, you're sold out of this special flavor. Not only have that to bring in business, but do some kind of promotion, okay, to really boost your business and outsell your competition, okay? Promotions are really, really important. They're handy. And look, kind of relaxed here. A lot of us vendors, and I see this all the time, guys, they have a set price. They are going to say, I'm only going to sell my lemonades for $8. I'm never going to lower my price. That's my price, and that's what I'm keeping at. That's fine if you want to do that, but I'm going to be honest with you, I think you're making a mistake doing that. Oh, we got a couple comments. Thank you for someone for rescuing me. What do we have here? So Adriana Mazzola. So I just started lemonade last year and would love to sell pretzels, nachos, popcorns, and hot dogs this year. Well, I think you should. I mean, the equipment for all these is relatively inexpensive and hardly any labor. Look, the pretzels, all you need is a microwave and a turkey roaster or a crock pot to keep them warm after you've cooked them. Or you can make them made to order. Look, some of our concession stands, we do insane volume. We make them made to order because if they're thawed, they only take 30 seconds. That way I don't have to worry about keeping them warm. Pretzels are amazing. I love them. They're one of my top 5 selling products. And the profit margin on them is fantastic. I mean, it's just as good as lemonade, but less labor, less overhead. Pretzels are amazing. If you sell the pretzels, they're gonna buy your lemonades with it because you're giving them a salty product. They're gonna buy a drink with them. So instead of a $6 ticket for your lemonade, now you're talking about $11, $12 ticket every time they come up. That's amazing. Adriana, she has a 10 by 10 tent set up. Perfect. That's what I started with and did that for 2 years. I would love to offer this, but have no idea how. And any help is greatly appreciated. All right, and we'll go to another tent. Look, here's the thing about lines. Now, is it just you, Adriana? Let me know. Is it just you by yourself? That's what I need to know. Okay. Lines are good because if you have a line, people have this, again, a misconception about our business. If you have a line, that's a great thing. That line will attract other people, right? That they will see something is going on there and they will come to that line. There's nothing wrong with having a line. Matter of fact, I create lines on purpose. If it's slow, I'll send some of my workers out there to stand in our window and make it look like they're buying food to create demand and have a line. There's nothing wrong with lines, okay? You want a line. You want to create that line. You want people to be there. Now, look, yes, it's just me, but we'll have a friend help me this year. Okay, perfect. Even if it was just you, you could still do the lemonades and the pretzels. Now, don't overextend yourself. You talked about, you want to do nachos, you want to do popcorn, you want to do hot dogs. Look, you can't do so many things when it's just you. Yeah, that will create a problem, right? I mean, you can't have a 5-minute wait time while you're running around trying to do all this. But a minute to a minute and a half wait time, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. That is a fine wait time, right? Yeah, get a steamer for your hot dog. Now, you can't do the pretzels just in a steamer because they will get way too soft. You got to microwave them for 30 seconds if you buy the ones I do at Sam's, okay? Got to microwave for 30 seconds and then wrap them in something and then put them in a crock. You don't want a ton of moisture. That's what you want, a little moisture, but not a ton. So I would make the pretzels made to order if I was you, okay? I mean, that's what we do, and I'm telling you, we have massive volume, and we do them made to order 90% of the time because if the pretzels are thawed, they only take 30 seconds. That's nothing. You put the pretzel in there, you go start working on your lemonades. By the time you come out with your lemonade, your pretzel's waiting on you in a microwave. Grab it with the lemonade, bam, a minute and a half, out the window, Adrian, done. And there's $12 or whatever, right there. And you had $2 into it, right? Got $1 into the pretzel maybe, $1 into the lemonade maybe, $2 into it, you're making like 12. Forget about it. It's great. And that's why this business is wonderful. I found nacho chips in a single serve bag and nacho cheese in containers. Those are horrible. Adrian, I got a video on nachos. You got to watch that. Those are horrible. Do not buy those. They're horrible. The cheese is disgusting. I'm telling you. The cheese is awful. Don't do that. And the single serve bag, there's really not a lot in there. It's going to take you about 30 seconds to make nachos. All you need, the big bag of nacho chips. You can get a food tray or nacho tray, however you choose it, right? If you do a food tray, you can have a little 2-ounce portion cup for your nacho cheese, or you can pour it right over the nachos. You can do the cheese in 2 ways. You can get a turkey roaster, put water in a turkey roaster, and put 2 number 10 cans of nacho cheese in there, ladle it out. Or you can buy a nacho warmer with the pump. That's what we use just because of our volume is so high, and we pump it out. But we've done it both ways. No problem, right? Nachos and pretzels are fantastic, but I would pick one if it's only you and a friend doing it, okay? Like I said, don't want to have so many things that you're killing yourself and then you're running customers off. But either nachos or pretzels. Don't do both. Just pick one. Go with the profit margin's about the same. They're both easy to make and both go great with lemonades because they're both salty. And you will sell, you'll sell your drinks with those. Let me see what you wrote here. I do fairs in H, which I would think would be New Hampshire. Maybe. Is my geography amazing? And I was thinking of offering kids lunch boxes that will consist of Uncrustable applesauce, goldfish bag, and a drink for like $10. $10 seems kind of high. I love the idea. We do the same type of thing. I think that, I have to see what your cost is on that, Adriana. I think $10 is a little too much. I would probably do it for 7 or 8, but you got to see what your cost is. I don't know what the cost is of those things right away. Look, if you're making 4 or 5 to 1, that's the wheelhouse you want to be in. You start getting to that 7, 8, 9 to 1, you're going to run people off. The price is going to be too high. It doesn't matter how high the sticker price is, and I've had to learn this the hard way. The sticker shock is bad for customers, okay? You would rather sell more, okay, at a 4 or 5 to 1 profit margin than sell a lot less than a 6 or 7 to 1 profit margin. Does that make sense? You'd rather move it more at a less profit margin and sell twice as many than you would trying to squeeze an extra dollar or two out of each individual one. It doesn't make a lot of business sense to do that. Hopefully that makes sense to you. It's about volume in our business, not sticker price. And you will see the people that solely focus on sticker prices, I think it's just me and you and here, Adriana, basically. So get a one-on-one conversation with the Caesar of concessions. The people that really focus on the high sticker price of the $8, $9, $10 lemonades and over exorbitant prices of their other products, they typically don't last long in business. And why? They're charging a great price. They're making 8 to 1 on their money. They're not going to last because people are not going to continue to buy it at that price tag. Or someone like me is going to come in there, undercut them significantly because I know what their cost is because their cost is the same. Undercut them significantly and outsell them 3, 4, 5 to 1 and really break their business off at the knees because I was smart enough to understand it's about volume, not sticker price, Adriana. So don't get caught in that, okay? That's how businesses fail, is by really getting into sticker price and not about volume and creating a real true value for your customers. Let's hear what she says. Do fairs in New Hampshire, everything offered. Okay, yeah, we talked about that. I appreciate this help as I am new to all this. Good. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad someone's watching. Honestly, I thought it was just going to be me doing this over here. Just talk to myself because I just did it impromptu for the heck of it. So, yeah. Add anything you want because this is a great forum to do it. You can't do this in my videos typically because I just have, desired content I want to talk about. And you can't ask me questions unless it's in the comment section. So this is good, Adriana. Ask away. I got about 10 more minutes that I'm going to do this. So ask anything you want for the next 10 minutes or anyone that's watching and get your questions answered. I still got a whole bunch of topics, but I can save these for another day. I'd rather help you with your questions. Okay, let me see what you wrote here. This is ice. I see fairs have a guy sell ice for triple what I can get at Sam's Club. Yup. But I can't leave the fair. This year, I'm thinking of buying an ice machine. Thoughts? I hope it worked. Well, okay. Buying an ice machine. Man, I got 3 ice machines. They're really expensive, and they break down all the freaking time. And they break down. I mean, true to life, Adriana. These things break down at the worst possible moment. And they cannot handle hot temperatures outside. Yeah, this ice machine outside, it's hot. It can't keep up and it will break down. And you'll spend all this money on the stupid ice machine. Now, I gotta have them just because of the volume that we do. So you have 2 choices as I see it. Buy your ice from Sam's, and then if you run out, you have no choice but to buy it from the guy that's selling it for 3 times the amount. I don't think you have much of a choice unless you invest in a couple additional coolers, right? How much is a big freaking Igloo cooler? I don't know. What are they, like $68 without looking at Walmart? I don't know, something like that. You buy a couple more of those and you stack them full of ice. And then when you run out, Well, you run out and you got to buy them for 3 times the price because you can't leave the fair. I don't know if buying an ice machine is the most, that's a lot of overhead, right? Yeah, bring a deep freeze with you. That's great. That's fantastic. Very smart. Bring a deep freeze. Bring additional coolers. Anything that keeps you from having to buy that ice for 3 times the amount until you absolutely have to. And if you can't leave, you can't leave. That it is what it is, right? You can't shut your tent down. So you gotta pay this guy's prices. I get it. I get it. But those are the only 2 options I see. The deep freeze, buy additional coolers, small investment, fill them up with ice, and then when you have to, you run out, and you got to buy this guy's ice. I don't see a really good solution to that other than what I just told you. I'd buy a couple more coolers. Let me see what we got going on over here. I bring a bunch of coolers and fill them at the start of the fair. Well, yeah, I mean, if the ice machine, if you think it, I don't, just because I say I wouldn't do it or it wouldn't work for me, in Kansas City, it's 100 degrees for 2.5 months straight. It just wouldn't work here. I gotta have mine in a building, like my concession stands have air conditioning in them, right? Now it gets, with the windows open, it gets 80, 85 in there with the air conditioner going the whole time, but it's enough that it keeps the ice machines working without any problems. I couldn't do mine outside. I couldn't do them for 100 degree heat. They would fail and break down. So if New Hampshire doesn't get that hot, yeah, you may be able to do those. And if they're cheap enough, I guess, but man, I still think the better option is buying more coolers and doing it that way. But that's just me. What else do you say here? I could always purchase the ice machine, bag the ice, and store it in my deep freezer. There you go. You could purchase the ice machine, keep it in your house, wherever, garage, whatever. Bag it yourself, and then do that. Man, yeah. How much is this ice machine that you're talking about? Like what's the? I don't even know how much they cost because I've had mine for several years. I just got to pay a repair guy every time something happens. And, that's pretty expensive. But how much is this ice machine? Like, what are we looking at here for cost? Because I don't know. Man, I got so much other stuff I want to talk about, but I only want to do like a 45-minute thing here, so I'm gonna get off here in just a few minutes. Let me see. Do I need to speak with the Board of Health to be able to sell food in the tent? I don't know. I don't know what your health department would say about that. I'm not there. Used for $900? Yeah, that might be okay. I don't know how much you're averaging on your events, how many events you do a year, etc. But if it can pay for itself after 1, 2 events, yeah, then Adriana, we've probably figured out the solution. Buy the machine, keep it at your house somewhere, right, where there's an ambient temperature below 85, and bag it yourself. Man, that's a lot of money you're saving on ice. The bags, however you want to bag it up, Walmart bags, I don't know. That'd be awesome, right? Just get like 1,000 Walmart bags every time you go into Walmart. Grab about, I know some states don't have plastic Walmart bags anymore. Here we do. Just snatch up a whole bunch each time you go in there and use that and put those in your deep freezer. Why not? What's the issue? As far as your health department goes, I don't know. You have to ask your health department. Here, no. Yes, I would have to tell them I'm doing an event. Yes, they'd have to come by and check me out. But the only thing with nachos and pretzels, because they're not required to be at any temperature. So, no, they would just come and make sure that the area is sanitized and clean. No different than they would for your lemonade. Pretzels don't have to be at a certain temperature. You could eat them cold if you wanted to. I wouldn't, but you could. Nachos. You heating up your chips, right? The nacho cheese is disgusting when it's cold, but it's not unhealthy or unsanitary, right? So, yeah, you want to make the cheese hot because that's what makes it taste good. But no, there's no reason I could see. Now, I'm not in New Hampshire, so who knows? But as far as I can tell, there's nothing there that a health department would have any issues with. We're not talking about hot dogs or hamburgers or sausages or anything like that, right? We're just talking about nachos and pretzels. No, I see no reason for a health department to have any issues. Nothing that has to be up to temperature to meet health code, at least here in Kansas City. So I wouldn't see it being there anywhere else. Lots of saved money. Definitely I'll bag the ice or just fill the cooler. Yep. I don't know. Tent screen or walls. Again, that's up to your health department. You know, ours, we can use screens. We don't have to have walls. Some events require walls here, but it's not a health department regulation for us. You just have to have a screen or a wall to prevent bugs or people walking by, I don't know, throwing stuff in your tent or whatever. I do remember that's a help. So nice to have someone like you. Thank you for saying that. That means a lot, and I really do appreciate the conversation. I didn't want to do this just to do it for myself. Just kind of wanted to see what was out there, see if anyone needed help, and I'm glad you came by. If anyone else has anything you want to add or any questions, now is the time because I'm leaving in like 3 minutes, guys. So, do you want to have anything else you want to ask? Drop it in the comments like right now. If you haven't subbed to my channel or watched my videos, you should, because we got lots of content, particularly about a lot of the stuff actually that Adriana and I were talking about. But I have it in video form, so that's great. Well, no one has anything to add to tonight's live stream. I sure hope you enjoyed it, and if you didn't catch it all, go back to the beginning and get to rewatch it when I end it here. Usually takes an hour, and then YouTube will upload it on the channel, and you could rewatch it. Adriana had a lot of questions, and we had a great conversation. So I do appreciate you, Adriana, for doing that with me. So that's it for me. Spent 45 minutes. Before I get out of here, we got one more. Okay, let me see. Do you make frozen lemonade? Well, absolutely I have frozen lemonade. I love to offer that in my tent I have. A cheap snow cone machine as well. Yep, frozen lemonade is amazing. I got videos on that as well, Adriana. You should go through the channel and check some of those out. Yep, frozen lemonade. Love frozen lemonade. How we make that is, you ready to hear this? You ready to make all my lemonade vending friends mad? You know how we make our frozen lemonade? Country time. Look at my crooked glasses that my grandson broke. Country time lemonade is how we make our frozen lemonade. And it tastes amazing. Absolutely amazing. We'll do pink. We'll do this. We'll do Kool-Aid frozen lemonades, right? Yeah. Frozen lemonades are absolutely amazing. They sell great, but the frozen lemonade machine, again, must be an ambient air temperature of less than 85 degrees. Yeah, that's right. Country time. I know. I got a video. I got a short. Go through my shorts on my YouTube, and you'll see me making it. Yeah, country time water. We pour it in our tumblers that make the frozen lemonade. Then we just pour it out. Goes right into the cup. Put the lid on, out the window. I think I have 10, 15 cents into them, and I sell them for $5. 15 cents in my frozen lemonades, and I'm selling them. They're like slushies. Is that, hopefully we're on the same page here is what I'm talking about. You know, like a slushy you get at like a gas station, you know, a convenience store, whatever. That's what I sell, lemon slushies. Some people call them frozen lemonades, that's what I call them. But yeah, we got 10, 15 cents into them, and we sell them for $5. And we sell thousands of them. They are amazing. But the machine must be kept ambient air temperature of less than 85 degrees, because it will not freeze and you won't get your slush. It'll just be liquid, no frozen to it whatsoever. All right, guys. That's it for my set. Oh, all it needs is electricity, Adriana, for the frozen machine. That's it. It just requires electricity. It's a 3-pronged outlet or 3-pronged cord. Plug it in any standard outlet. It's fine. I'm going to have a adult beverage, hang out with my wife. Thank you guys for watching. Caesar Concessions, out.